All right, we're on the tail end of homework 1 now. So let's look at question 13 and see what we can see straight away. We can see this triangle here has 2 angles given. So we should be able to see that A is 70 degrees. And now we should use the idea that we learned a couple of videos ago, the vertically opposite angles being equal. So they're 70 degrees. We have supplementary angles in either direction actually. So these have to add up to 180. So this is 110 each. They're vertically opposite angles, so they must be equal. Right, so the last thing we're going to look at is for E, well, we can't use ABE triangle, but we can use this right-angled triangle, ABC. So we know that this is 40 plus 90, E must be 50 degrees. Now, if you're looking at question 14 and thinking, oh, that looks a bit familiar, well, probably because it is very similar to question 4. So if you haven't tried question 4, go back and do it now, and then pause the video, see how you go with question 14, and I'll show you how I've done it in a moment. Okay, great. So hopefully you've had a try at that. So the same sort of idea, we're going to use the larger triangle and find this entire angle. So these angles add up to 70. So this entire angle would be 110. The smaller angles we need to divide by 2. So in this case it's 55 each degrees. All right, so alpha then, let's use the external angle theorem. Find the sum of these two. 85 degrees will be equal to alpha. Lovely. All right, so question 15. This is the sort of thing that we need to get a bit used to. Not all of the information is given on the diagram. Here we have to look here and see that BC is parallel to FG. So that's not given, we have to draw that in. BC is given to parallel to FG. All right, so now what we should notice here is that we've got, well, D here, we need to know this angle here. And what can we say about this angle? Well, because of the parallel lines, it's alternate to 70, which means that it's actually equal here. So that's 70 degrees, which means that D, well, would have to be, well, has to add up to 180, so D must be 80. All right, so we've also got a triangle in the center here, which is triangle AFG, and we can know 2 angles from that. We know 80 and 70, and so they add to 150, so E must be 30 to make 180. So we've got 30, we've got 80. We need to find a few of the other ones. Well, I think looking here, C is probably the next easiest. Let's use that same idea of alternate angles here. So for 80, the alternate angle here is also equal. So that's, again, 150, so C would have to be 30 degrees, which we have. We're looking for A and B now. Oh, yeah, so they're up here. These ones up here. Well, on the side, we do have all of the angles in this now. We've learned that this is 80 degrees and this is 80 degrees, so it's an isosceles triangle. 160, so B has to be 20 to add up to 180 degrees. And last but not least, let's look at A, and this triangle is already done too. We've got 30 plus 70, that's 100, plus 40. Well, we need another 40 to get to 180. And last one, so here we've got some parallel lines that are going to be very important. So when we see our parallel lines, here and here, and the line between them, so these 2 angles must be equal because they are alternate, so that means that this here is alpha. We're also going to look at some corresponding angles. So the idea here is that if you have parallel lines, then these 2 angles in corresponding positions are equal. So we're going to use that idea looking here with this parallel line here and here, and this line, we're going to see that theta is corresponding to this angle here. So this angle's theta, they're equal. So now all that's left to do is match up beta. And so I've made a small mistake here. So beta is actually the corresponding, if we look at these 2 parallel lines, beta should actually match up here. So that's the corresponding angle here to beta. The alternate angle I've mistaken here, the parallel lines were here and here, so this angle alpha would have to be this angle here. So sorry about that small mistake. I hope you picked that up as we were doing that. And if we want to find the sum of all those three, well, they're supplementary. That's going to have to be 180 degrees. All right, well done, and we'll see you in another video.